welcome to another episode of Boulder Dash. I am Joe, your host, and I thank you so much for watching the show. We're going to do a continuation of last week's episode. I had my boy Marcus on here, and we're getting ready to enter part 2. So I hope you're excited about this episode. So, a little bit about this episode. It was great for Marcus and I to get in touch with each other and talk and catch up and stuff, and that's what we talked about last week. But this week, it has to do a little bit with my favorite film, Titanic. And I love that movie. And if you want to hear how much I love that movie, go check out episode 3 of the Joe Show, right? And I love that movie. And we started talking about cruises, right? And we started talking about how it's something I want to do, but I'm so afraid to do because of that goddamn movie. So, if you want to hear more about what I get into, stay right there. We'll be right back. We'll get this show going. Enjoy this episode of Marcus and I talking about cruises. It's gonna be recently, a long time ago, took a 17 hour drive to Florida. Now, when my boys and we went down there, we had a great time. I saw my first baseball game at the spring training field. It was the Boston Red Sox. Why did you make that drive?
March of last year, I was in, March of 2023, I was in a very not good headspace overall. It was very bad. And it lasted from it was most of March and probably all of April. I didn't start feeling better. It was bad. I was out almost every night on days, just drinking for at least an hour. I don't think I went negative with anything, but I was destroying myself terribly. Um, and Mason at the time was my roommate. Um, so then he had invited me out bowling with him, Becca, and their mutual friend from Metro named Garrison. Uh, and me wanting to distract myself and also stop myself from drinking,
Yep.
I went, and it was a great time. I mean, I love bowling, so bowled a couple of games, and then made our way over to Applebee's, where we got into the conversation of going on cruises.
Mm.
That whole night was pretty memorable, and it was definitely a great escape that I needed. Um, but then like a week later, Garrison had made a group chat with all of us on Snapchat, and we planned, scheduled, and started paying for a cruise.
Versus the Marlins. It's a great show because all the Boston people were there. Go back to Pawtucket. Very great. You want a hot dog? Very great. And we saw manatees, and it was just nice, and all the beautiful women. And we should have went to Lani Kai, which is like the spring break headquarters, and we didn't go there because we were just nice Christian boys who all had girlfriends. So we didn't get to go. But Marcus recently made that drive. But Marcus, why did
Yes.
you make that drive?
March of last year, I was in, March of 2023, I was in a very not good headspace
Right.
overall. It was very bad. And it lasted from it was most of March and probably all of April. I didn't start feeling better. It was bad. I was out almost every night on days, just drinking for at least an hour. I don't think I went negative with anything, but I was destroying myself terribly. Um, and Mason at the time was my roommate. Um, so then he had invited me out bowling with him, Becca, and their mutual friend from Metro named Garrison. Uh, and me wanting to distract myself and also stop myself from drinking,
Right.
um, I went, and it was a great time. I mean, I love bowling, so bowled a couple of games, and then made our way over to Applebee's, where we got into the conversation of going on cruises.
Mm.
The whole that whole night was pretty memorable, and it was definitely a great escape that I needed. Um, but then like a week later, Garrison had made a group chat with all of us on Snapchat, and we planned, scheduled, and started paying for a cruise.
Gotcha. So on this cruise, where'd you guys go?
So we did not go on the cruise that we had paid for, originally paid for.
Gotcha.
So at some point, um, your brother did back out for financial reasons.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and then later, the company Carnival, which is a well-renowned cruise line, messaged us saying, "Hey, your boat will be out of service for the time that you want to go." And I later learned, like the week of the cruise, like the week we were on that cruise, that it was destroyed. Like they just scrapped the whole boat.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you was talking about some Titanic stuff going on. I was like, see, this right here, this why you probably would never find me on the cruise because the one time I go on a cruise, that's what's gonna happen. I'd be like, y'all got lifeboats? We're the men that's gonna be playing the violins, the ship going down. But go ahead. Sorry.
Um, and so we just quickly rescheduled for a different cruise, and Uh, so it left out of Cape Canaveral in
Mhm.
Orlando. Um, it was a 6 day, well, basically 7 day long cruise in which we went to the island of Grand Turk and Bimini in the Bahamas.
Gotcha. So now when you was posting pictures on Snapchat and stuff like that, I saw you on the boat most of the time. Did you guys
Yes.
to the island?
Uh, I I'm very bad with pictures. I'm not very a photogenic person, or just like I like to just like have the memory, not the picture. Which is terrible considering I do like actually photography. But
Marcus,
uh,
you could have easily taken, you could have been like walk off the boat and just went
yeah,
took a
I know.
clip.
Easily could have, easily could have. I'm just not that type of person with most of the time, which is terrible of me. Yeah. We spent a total of 8 hours, roughly 8 hours, like a specific day on each of the islands.
Listen, you spent a total of 8 hours on the island, right? I am stuck here in Terre Haute. It has been raining. It looks like what is it, Ireland? Like the only color they know is gray. Okay, that's how it was here, and you was down there in the sunny Bahamas with the blue sky, the sun, the ever so nice looking
The
people.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, Margaritaville places down there, and I was supposed to be living through you, but I couldn't because you're not a photogenic person.
You saw pictures, you saw the story, so you still lived like maybe not as much as you could have, but you still lived through me.
Yes, but I wanted to live more. Like, let me tell y'all something. I was looking at the stuff, you know how in like movies and how like crazy the lives are and stuff like that. That's how it was for him. Like he was sitting there eating dinner and they having a concert there and they're partying on this ship and stuff like they are partying like it's the end of the world. That's how crazy it was. Like, jeez.
I mean, hey, we're in talks of going on another cruise, so
But I got family I got to bring with me too. Like, who gonna watch my kids?
they have daycares.
I don't know. Listen, I don't trust the daycare here in Terre Haute. Now you expecting me to go on a boat, which I really don't trust, the boat itself, and then leaving with some people that I don't know. It's just very stressful. We're gonna have to do like some mini trips or something first before we go out on the water or something like that. Maybe go somewhere landlocked and then have a little pontoon boat and sail down the river that way, or something like that. I don't
Fair,
know.
fair, I guess. Um, but so to originally answer the question,
Yes, I'm sorry.
because like, well, because you'd asked it in the first part. or like why I took the 12-hour, 6 hour, like 18-hour drive is just like because I had to drive to Florida. Because I could not work has been so hectic. I'd not have free time to really I'd be out late, I'd come home, pass out. Could not find a plane or anything until like last minute and it was too expensive. So I drove. And the drive down there was not bad. It could have been a lot better had I actually been able to leave at the time I wanted.
Gotcha.
Because
So go ahead.
I had left Saturday and the we didn't leave port until Monday. I had left Saturday. I wanted to leave right after dispatch, so which would have been 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, and because the plan was to drive, because from Champaign to actually like Orlando is about 15 hours.
Yeah.
But I was going to detour to South Carolina to see some friends.
Okay.
But one of my employees was sick, called in. I had to run. I had to do my job.
Gotcha.
Uh, so I didn't leave until 3 in the afternoon for this cruise.
Mm,
3 in the
mm.
afternoon, drove 12 hours, went through, started in Illinois, went through Indiana. I was in the briefest of time in Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina for that original 12-hour trip.
Gotcha.
And also, I mean, like I had messaged my boy Caden, and he gave me some. Because I had asked for song recommendations and podcasts from people to kind of
Mhm.
help with the trip, which Joe over here aptly requested that I listen to the Joe Show.
Of course.
But my boy Caden gave me a lot of artists that I've never heard before, so I was just jamming out to that. It was a good time overall, and the trip itself. I mean, like seeing all the cool things was great. The only time I had to stop multiple times for gas because as one does for that long of a trip.
Yeah.
Um, the only time I stopped outside of gas is I had to take at least I took a 1 30-minute nap for that whole trip.
Gotcha.
um, for the original 12-hour drive. Um, also, uh, from that 12-hour drive. So under these circumstances, like in the middle of the night and it's raining and lightly foggy, if you can avoid fucking North Carolina and like entering North Carolina from Tennessee, like do that as much as possible. Like because that shit was awful.
Listen, I'm black. You're not gonna find me going through Tennessee, Kentucky, North, South Carolina at night, so it'll be just fine in fucking daytime for me. Like, sorry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. So and then I made it to South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina specifically. At
Mm-hmm.
made it to my friend's house at 5:30.
Yeah.
Him and him after like an hour of conversation, him and his lovely wife made it to Sullivan Island, where I witnessed my first time witness the ocean and like a actual legitimate beach for the first
Isn't it,
time.
isn't it beautiful, man?
It was breathtaking.
Like I'm telling you, like people who have not gone to see the ocean, like I hate these people that are just like, no, I was born here in Terre Haute. I'm staying here in Terre Haute. I don't need to see nothing. Listen, there is nothing like feeling the real sand on your toes and then hopping in that water and it's not tasting like chlorine, it's just natural salty water.
No,
Um,
no, I actually no. So I didn't. So I didn't like. I mean, I walked along the beach. I didn't actually get in when I was in South Carolina. But I mean, I obviously did eventually end up in the ocean on the cruise.
yeah,
And gotta say it. I mean, this is now my correlation with ocean water, salted fucking pretzels.
yeah.
They taste. It tastes like fucking salted pretzels.
And I don't know, man. It's just the ocean's just different. It's just different.
Mm.
Like I don't know, man. Also, too, is the sunset. Like I remember when I was in Florida, right? The sun started setting, and everybody was on the beach, and everybody stopped, and they just watched the sun fall into the ocean, man. And I was just looking around at everybody, and I was just like, "This is fucking beautiful, man." Like the world is crazy, but here we all are, just sitting here watching this sunset. Beautiful. Like, and there's no land, just water as far as the eye can see. Love the ocean.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
What I was gonna say there too, were you driving that long? Because I know you still got more to the story, but you driving that long is fucking crazy. And the reason why it is because when I went down with my boys, there was five of us, and we all rotated, and that was a lot. So I can't even imagine driving down there by myself. Like I probably would have got down there to Florida, went on the cruise, and I would have looked around and been like, "Fuck it, Florida's my home now."
Honestly, I could have stayed in just Charleston. That was actually really great. But then, so saw the ocean. We got some breakfast at a quaint little place there on Sullivan Island. Don't
Mhm.
ask me what the name of it. Don't ask me what the name is. I forgot. And then it was around 9 o'clock when we got back to their house. I slept for 3 hours and then proceeded to make my way from South Carolina to Orlando, Florida, which is just basically South Carolina, Georgia, Florida in terms of driving. 6 hours, made my way to Orlando, Florida, which was great. But I had to wait 3 more hours for my friend to get there via plane. So, and I was done driving at that point. I'm like my car was parked at the hotel. I had so middle of the night. I'm just walking down a main road in Florida. I didn't know how I felt about that, but
Yeah. Well, see, here's some. What was I getting ready to say there? I don't forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead. Main Road, Florida.
yeah, just like I mean, hit up a McDonald's, just walk, see a few things, like. Then he finally got there, picked him up. We went to we fell asleep because like it was late. We needed to go the next day.
See,
Then
we went down to Bonita Beach area, and so it's like an island where they have to have like those roads that raise up. So there was at nighttime there was really no one on that island, so we just walked around. We went to the 7-Eleven for the very first time. There was a movie studio down there, so it's pretty peaceful down there. I mean, kind of gay, but me and my boy at the time we went and bought some beers and we drank beers while walking across the beach line near the ocean, which that's scary too. Like the ocean just black at night. I mean, like the only thing
oh
separate the ocean is from midnight is 11:59.
no, you see like seeing it from the beach is something like
Yeah.
middle of the night looking over a boat when it's like it's thousands of feet deep is a
No,
different.
no. See, that is my fear, right? Like there is nothing that gives me more anxiety than when I'm scrolling through TikTok and you have that voice, the most dangerous jobs in all the world. And they have those guys who are on boats and the boat goes way into the water and then the water's going above their head, splashes on them, and the boat comes back up. I'm like, no, fuck that. No, listen, Titanic scarred me. I watched Titanic I was a very young child when I watched it. One of my very favorite movies, but it had scarred the hell out of me. I don't think, I mean, I,
uh
I can feel it.
Final Destination, the log
Yeah,
truck.
yeah. I can't do that either, man. That's crazy. The movies impact us like that, man. Just, phew. So we got some pretty interesting stuff going on in the conversation with Marcus Mayo. Great conversation we got going so far, and we still got more to come. But I just want to take a little break and a little breather. So, what I want to go over real quick during this break is common causes of logging truck accidents. He mentioned a thing from Final Destination, and so I want to just kind of ease your mind, okay? Ease your mind a little bit. And it says there is a study that indicates that 70% of all log truck collisions occur in the southeastern part of the U.S., which is where the logging industry has a fairly strong foothold. However, these incidents can occur anywhere log trucks operate, which is across the U.S. for transportation purposes. There are various causes of accidents, often due to the carelessness or neglect actions of the trucking company, the driver, or individuals responsible for loading the logs onto the trucks. Now, some of the most common accidents that happen are traffic violations, improper secured or loaded cargo, driving errors, improper reversing, inclement weather, unsafe road conditions, operating under the influence, or defective trucking parts. So, as long as you are driving with on the highway and none of that happens, you are safe. And if you are not in the southeastern part of the United States, more than likely you are safe from a logging truck. So I just want to put your mind at ease. Now, let's talk about some fun facts with the Titanic. Even though that wasn't a really fun event that happened, there are some facts here about Titanic that I found interesting because, even though it scarred me, let's see if some of these facts here help my fear of getting on a ship. So, the Titanic, right? The most expensive ticket to travel abroad on the Titanic cost about $99,000 in today's money. So if you wanted to buy the most expensive ticket on the Titanic, you would be looking to spend $100,000. That is more than cars these days. That's about a house. Would you buy a ticket that is about the same amount as a house? I wouldn't, okay? So, the Titanic was almost as long as 3 football fields and as tall as the Nelson's Column in London. So, it's pretty tall and pretty wide, or pretty tall and pretty long there. The Titanic was one of 3 sister ships, along with the Olympic and the Britannic. The Titanic had room for 3,547 passengers and crew, but only carried 2,222 on its maiden voyage. The estimated overall wealth of the passengers in first class, this is just first class, they're not talking about second class, or not talking about the third class, they're talking about just first class, $500 million. Freaking crazy. The Titanic had 10 decks, 3 engines, and its furnace burnt through over 600 tons of coal. Last fact they got here, people died on the Titanic even before it set out to sea because of construction. So, those are some facts there about Titanic. Tell me if you found any of these interesting. I want to hear your comments. Don't be afraid or forget to like, subscribe, and comment on any of these episodes. Marcus and I would love to hear about what you think about this cruise and some of the events and things that's happening here pretty soon. So we've got more with that, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let Marcus get back and tell you guys more about his trip there because I find it very interesting. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to the Boulder Dash podcast. Let's get on with the show. I'm ready. Let's go. So on the cruise, what were some of your favorite things to do on the cruise?
Well, so uh Monday, the day that we docked, the day that we were to leave port, made our way there. I had to get a parking place. I wouldn't call it a parking garage, and they shuttled us over to the boat. We were on Carnival Freedom. That was the name of the boat. Um, Kind of a long line situation to enter. So like they'll take your luggage, and then like you just enter the boat with all your important like your information that you need to get on the boat. And then like once you're in the boat, you cannot enter your room until like 1:30. So you just like you're forced to go on. There's like 14 there's 14 bars, like a library, but I did not hear you say damn. I know you said damn, but uh,
Yeah.
uh yeah, like 14 bars, a couple of gift shops, pool, there's some water slides. There's a half basketball court, pickleball court, uh, mini golf. Um, very there was this trio that performed every so often. Ooh, they were amazing.
I would have loved that. I love that. I would have sat there and now was it a buffet?
It was basically like an all day like lunch buffet.
Gotcha.
Um,
So you paid for everything. So basically you don't have to pay for anything on there. Basically.
that so in terms of so gift shop, obviously you pay like for so food wise everything is free for the most part outside of certain things.
Yeah.
You can pay you there are extra packages that you can buy into, so you can get like free soda the whole time, or
Yeah.
even free alcohol. Like you just pay for an alcohol package,
Mm.
to where like, so you get a minute like apparently on Carnival you get a minimum of 15 alcoholic drinks a day before they say no.
So I wouldn't need no more than that, man.
You would need more than six.
Shoot. I mean, it just depends on the like. Are we talking shots? Or are we talking
All
drink?
drink. I mean, I didn't see a single person with a shot. It was all drinks.
Yeah, and they probably got some pretty good bartenders on there. So I don't know. See, you would probably need more, but see me, I'm my lightweight ass. Yeah, like I had 2 beers last night, and I was just like, "Yep, I got to drive home."
Um, I mean, just to refer, so people haven't understand like kind of like how much like I can take. Just yesterday alone, I mean, I could have had more, didn't. I had a little. So I only had like I'd say like a quarter of a glass of Modelo. That was because there was a miscommunication on something we had planned.
Yeah.
But I had a shot of Don Julio
Hmm.
Silver, a shot of Don Julio 1942. It was a $24 shot that I didn't pay for. So
Yeah.
yeah, because someone paid it for me. I had a liquid marijuana,
Hmm.
and then at least two Coronas, and I didn't feel much of anything.
See, this man, I've only seen this man throw up one time. And I don't know if he couldn't take it or it's what he said. It hit his throat the wrong way. But what's your go-to drink that you always get?
Actually have not gotten that in a while. I know which one you're referring to.
What
Um,
was
you
it?
know,
Three?
it's Three Wise Men is the name. It's supposed to be three separate shots done in quick succession of Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and it's actually supposed to be a third whiskey, like something like a Jameson. But by the time I started, it was also paired with tequila, Jose, and just a quick succession. I have not done that in a while. I need to. I think I may do that next time.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I'm saying. That was his go-to drink every single time. And I'm a tequila dude, but I found out the more expensive tequila it goes down smoother than the
yeah, I learned that quickly there. That too. Holy crap.
yeah, we went to like the Verve one day and I said, "Hey, I want a shot of tequila." And I had money at the time, and so usually they'll give you the expensive stuff. And he gave me the cheap shit and I just hit it and it fucking burned the whole way. Usually
It
that's what
was
you think.
It was Wells, probably Tequila Wells. I forget where I was. No, no, I was at a bar here with this dumbass behind me and our friend Dakota. Um, and we ordered Wells and just like that, it was just so nasty. Like after, like I had two of them, it's just like I'm gonna get another shot. I'm like, you do not give me that, or I will throw up on you because it's that nasty.
Yep. It's the same thing with what's another Rumple Mints. I tried Rumple Mints for the very first time. And let me tell you something.
Oh, I had a shot of Rumplemans too yesterday as well.
I can't do it, dude. They're so fucking gross. But the thing
It's
about them,
peppermint. It's
they're
peppermint.
gross, dude. I don't want listen, you already got the burniness from the alcohol. I don't need peppermint. The first time I ever had Rumple Mints, right? I didn't know what it was. Okay. So my friend took me to go take these shots, and there was like a for your birthday, they gave you like these 11 double shots, right? And it was called the rainbow. So I'm sitting there
Nice.
tasting all of them, right? And the freaking Rumplemints one, I took the shot and the ring on mouth going down. That's how bad. And but this last time I had Rumplemints, I took it and I was just like, oh, whatever. It's cheap. It's not going to do anything to you. So I took the one shot. Then they bought another one. So I took that one. And then I'm just like, oh, fuck. I was like, that shit hit hard. But and I had taken this is after I've noticed I've grown old recently because um one of the things that I used to be able to do, I used to be able to drink as like I wouldn't be able to keep up with you, but I could be trailing behind you pretty good, right? And not
Yeah.
throw up anything. No, last time, couple times I went out with Haley, I threw up, and I can't hold my liquor anymore. Like I think I'm just becoming a beer person. No more shots for me unless your liquor is in a mixed drink or something. But besides that, nah, I don't think I can do
So
shots.
I mean, you could do this if you like. It's a mild recommendation. So a it's a shot called Fire and Ice. It contains Rumplements, but
Hmm.
it also contain like And the other thing is, like they pair well to kind of like mitigate the other one, but it's Fireball.
Nope.
Fireball.
No. No. Listen, let me tell y'all audience what's up with Fireball in me. When I first started drinking, I had Fireball. And I thought, man, this shit is good. It is spicy. It tastes like a cinnamon candy. And so ever since then, it was that and the UV blue. I was drinking that. And I think on one of my birthdays, I had a half a glass of moonshine, a couple of ice coolers, some wine, and the rest of it was Fireball. Puked. Ever since then, no Fireball for me. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. You'll fire and ice. Now you're telling me to get Rumplemans and Fireball together. I just told you why I don't like Rumplemans. Oh, not taking
Um,
suggestions.
but I know, so on the boat, so there's a casino, there's a bunch of other things. But the gift shop, everything is duty free, like tax and duty free, so you can get like great deals and stuff. I now own a $500 watch that I bought for $99.
Gotcha. That's crazy, man.
My friend Garrison, he bought an $800 watch for $99.
Gotcha. Huh. I might have to go on a cruise. I mean, probably never gonna happen, but I'll probably be like 90 and finally be like, somebody get Marcus. Tell him I'm finally going on a cruise. Like,
And like yeah, like I said, like we looked into some other cruises, learned of some very interesting types of cruises.
what you mean?
uh like
This thing,
a nude cruise.
I can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. You don't need somebody like me on a bus cruise. Like, you just have to have me on a leash. You know how they have like this, you know how they have like those cones for dogs, right? Instead of putting it on my head, you have to put it on my dick.
No, and like I've mentioned because I've been talking to people about the cruise, obviously, and I've mentioned my cruise I went on, and then like some of the cruise I've learned about. And when I tell people about the nude cruise, like they're like they see like I've had four people be like, "Oh, I'm all in for it," and like they're all girls too. I'm just like, one of them asked me if I was going. I'm like, "Is that like offer?"
Well, hold on now. Listen, I'm a person who like to think about stuff before it happened. Okay, so before you go into a nude cruise, you got to think about it. It is a nude cruise open to the public. Okay, first of all, it's all only gonna be adults, right?
Yes, I I,
The
I can I can read you the information because I had to get it from my friend in order to like share it with the people that were interested.
Listen, you get that, but my thing is the thing you got to watch out for is old people. Because old people, they're gonna want to get on there. And do you want to see grandma's titties on the floor or grandpa's balls on the floor? I don't. Well, no, listen, you can shrug, Marcus, you can shrug your shoulders right now because we are not there. But literally, if I took my equipment and we went on that goddamn cruise, you would probably be like, dude, I need to bleach my fucking eyes. Like, but
That's what
that's
alcohol's for. But like,
no. Marcus,
I have the information.
go ahead. You read that, and then we're gonna end this half of the show, and we're gonna come back.
All right. So like this cruise, which takes place on uh Norwegian Pearl, will set sail on February 3rd and return on February 14th. It's an 11-day cruise.
Okay, and that sounds about right for the Norwegian people because I think they do have a lot of like when it comes to sex, sex isn't a gross thing like it is here in the United States. So for them, it's just all
Well, I
natural.
mean, Norwegian's just the name of the cruise line.
Okay, never mind then.
Um, the it's priced at $2,000 a person.
Mm-mm.
Um, the trip is marketed as a 11-day adventure, bear to bearatized, offering a wide range of amenities to fit everyone's style to of bear cruising. It contains the Norwegian Pearl contains loads of entertainment, lots of open deck space, and multiple dining options, including 14 restaurants, 14 bars, and a large buffet area for outdoor dining, in addition into a casino, spa, and several night spots.
But here's the thing. Okay, so what? Okay, I got questions. Okay, so what happens if you get this big ass black dude, man, Dango? I don't want his dick in the potato salad. Okay, so do you have to wear certain? I want to know. Do you have to wear certain attire there, or do
I mean,
you?
there's one more thing of information that may answer your. Okay, however, it isn't an entirely clothing-free experience. Cruise rules require passengers to be clothed during the captain's reception and introduction, while docked in port, and at all times in the main and specialty dining areas.
Okay, so they have main and specialty dining areas because you got to think about that too. I don't want to be sitting down there, then Old Man Jenkins or and Miss Patty walk by and they be like, "Joe, you got all this food in your plate." I'm like, "I'm done. I can't eat no more." Like,
Yeah. And it's like other rules include putting a towel down before sitting in the stateroom, pool deck, and buffet area, as well as a ban on being nude in front of other ships in port and fondling or inappropriate touching. A message on the site urges passengers to use common sense, emphasizing that proper cruise etiquette is not any different from proper etiquette in any other social situation.
see, you know how we go to the verb, and if you have your hands at your side, you are a very respectful dude. You have your hands at the side, at the side of your leg, your body, and you're just standing there, you just kind of just grooving and stuff, and then you slap an ass. Like, that's what's gonna happen. I just don't. My hands gonna be up like this the whole time. Be like, "Hey, how you doing? Good." I'm like, no, like some old man stuff there. But I don't know. All right, so we're gonna end this part of the show. We'll be right back in the next half. So you guys stay right there. We're gonna keep talking about cruises. We're gonna keep talking going down memory lane with Marcus. So stay right there. We're gonna be right back after this.